the Starbucks in my small town, and I wanted to come and share with you guys a little bit about me and my educational experience. And as you know, or maybe if you haven't watched the other videos, I'm actually out on break, so I never get to like have some downtime to like chill and talk. So I figured I'd take this time to kind of get to do that. So a little bit about me. So I am a mother of 5. Yes, 5 beautiful children. My oldest is 21 and my youngest is 3. So I have a child in every developmental stage right now, and you know, I've had my ups and downs, but hey, you know, you survive, you make it through, you get through it, and I can't say that I'm through it because, like I said, I have a 3-year-old, and I don't think you ever get to a point to where you're through it because you'll be forever mommy. So I share that with you because a lot of that impacts what my experience has been educationally. So I had my first child at 16 years old, my son, and while I was pregnant, I went to school year round. I actually graduated a year early, and so whereas everybody else was graduating in 96, I graduated in 95. And so what that meant, I felt like that was important because I needed to work. I've always been fascinated with like pregnancy, moms, motherhood, ever since I can remember, like all my life. Like from when I start developing memories and things like that, I've been fascinated with the whole process. I mean, I can remember when my mom was pregnant with my little sister, and I remember, you know, touching her belly and asking her questions about it and things like that. So I've always been fascinated with that process. And so I wanted to graduate early so that I can go ahead and get a job. And so my first job was actually in an OBGYN office, and I stayed there, worked there as a medical receptionist, pretty much right out of high school. And got a lot of my background, you know, there. You know, I noticed, you know, things about the office that I liked. I noticed things about the office that I didn't like. But the major thing, the major key that I got from my experience was that, hey, you know, I have a son, and by the time I got ready to make the decision to go back to school, I had 3 sons. So it's like, I have 3 sons. There's things that I want to do. Like, I want to be able to take them to Disney if I want to. Like, I want to be able to do things. And you know what? I can't do it on this salary. Even though I love my job, I love working in healthcare, I want to go further. I want to be on the direct patient care side. And so with that, I began to go back to school. I went to Greenville Tech in Greenville, South Carolina for, I'd say, I think it was like the first year that I went, I was not successful. Just because, you know, balancing work and then, you know, not really understanding what college life was about. So I wasn't successful in my first round. So if you've had downfalls where it's like, oh, you know, I didn't do so great in that class, or, you know, I could have done better, believe me, you know, we all kind of go through things like that maybe, you know, when you have other things that you're juggling. And so, or if your focus is not like spot on. And so when I was about, I'd say 22, I actually started really going hard at it. And so I went back to Greenville Tech, ended up in the honors program there, and had so many experiences that I would not give up for the world. Kudos to Greenville Tech because they have awesome programs there. At that point, I was studying biology. I felt like I was gonna, you know, focus on biology because I wanted to go to med school. And so, you know, did that, you know, after I finished my first year there successfully in the honors program, it was time for me to apply to other universities and decide where I was going to go for my bachelor's. And so I I applied to two colleges. Yeah. really didn't spread that out, did I? But anyway, I applied to two colleges and got into both. So the first college that I applied to was Bob Jones. Bob Jones University is a Christian college in Greenville, South Carolina. And you know, they have a bachelor's in biology, so that was good, and it was close to home because I was used to being around my family and things like that. But at that time, Greenville did not have a medical school, and so that kind of made Bob Jones a drawback. The next option was the College of Charleston. Now, in Charleston, South Carolina, we have MUSC, which is a medical school where all of the research and things are pumping out of there. It's like really awesome. And so I was like, perfect. If I could just get accepted to College of Charleston, then I'd be able to jump over and go to medical school at MUSC, and then my kids could go with me. Now, I had it all like planned out in my head, right? So I got accepted to both. But I ended up choosing College of Charleston because of the medical school component, okay? Needless to say, just like at Greenville Tech, when I got to College of Charleston, it was like a whole new world. So I started out, I had all heavy classes. I allowed the registrar to set up my classes, and instead of like jumping in and like telling her, she set me up, and I had calculus, I had chemistry, and I had it was called bio, which is biodiversity or something like that, or whatever. And I had music appreciation. Those were my classes. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, I can do this or whatever. But once I got in and saw like how heavy these courses were, it freaked me out. I mean, I remember the first day being in that bio class, and you're in there with like in this auditorium type feel with all the students around, and and she looks and she's like, okay, your homework for tonight is to do a phylogeny. It'll be due the next time you come to class. And the bell rings and everybody like jumps up out their seat because it's time to go. And I remember just sitting there like, what the crap is a phylogeny? I have never heard of this. What is this? Yeah, I don't know. So with that, like, that's kind of how that semester went. It was really, really hard. In my chemistry class, like, I remember studying for the first test and just like being the only one in the chemistry building on that floor at that time, and they had these desks like right outside of class, and I remember just sitting with that book and like looking at it, and I had been there for some time studying and just could not get it, and I just remember bawling and praying like, please Lord, let this stuff sink in because I don't know. And like right after that, I got like superwoman energy, yeah. And I I started studying and approaching it in a different way. I started using whiteboards to work out equations and balance equations, and I actually made a B on that exam. So whereas I thought that I did not know the material, I learned at that point that I am a person that needs to apply the things that, you know, I learned. So that was the first year. The second year, it was time for me to take physics. Yeah, no. Physics is what I decided I hated, and physics is what kind of kept me from applying to medical school. That was when I changed and said, you know what, maybe medical school isn't for me because physics sucks. I don't feel like learning this crap. I really don't. I'm not a math person. Like I said before, I had calculus. I literally lived in the math lab. Like, lived, do you understand me? Lived to do simple homework assignments. Like, I was in the math lab all the time. because I just didn't have it. I didn't have algebra in high school. So it's like to walk in and I took algebra at Greenville Tech, and so then I walked in at College of Charleston ready and prepared for this calculus, but I wasn't ready, y'all. I was not ready. And so I've always had to struggle in math. And so to throw physics out there, I'm like, no, I just don't want to do it. I don't. Sorry. I don't. So I went to advisor, and she advised me. She's like, you have a lot of psychology courses. You've done exceptionally well in those, so why not psychology? And so therefore, Regan became a psychology major in that moment. And then I completed my bachelor's of science in psychology from College of Charleston, which was awesome. I was not allowed to walk during my high school graduation. I pretty much just got my diploma because I had missed too many days, because I was working and doing things or whatever, and I'm like, I'm doing well in the classes, so it doesn't matter. So I missed too many days, so I had to not walk. That was their way of saying, well, we're going to punish you. So I didn't walk. So really, College of Charleston was the first time that I ever felt like, okay, I really accomplished something. Like, I worked toward it. I moved to a whole nother area, no family. I drove in the same L for almost, oh my gosh, at least 2 years, just not really knowing the area, but getting to know it slowly. As far as the kids go, like, in Charleston, there are awesome, like, after school programs. Like, the school literally, like, became our second family. So they would go to school from 8, and then they got out at 2:30, and then they went to after school from 2:30 to 5. And so that allowed me a chance to work and do the things that I needed to do to study and stuff like that. So, it worked out. God was in it, and I am amazed when I look back at, how I did that. But I did it. So if you ever, like, feel like, oh, well, I can't do this because I have children, I'm here to tell you once again that it's up to you. You have to make life work for you. And so fast forward to now. So one thing that I learned, I graduated from College of Charleston, and then I was deciding, I knew for a fact that I did not want a degree in counseling. That's what I thought at that point, because I'm like, I've worked with them, they only make this much money, and I'm trying to, make more money or whatever. So I immediately took a job at the Institute of Psychiatry at MUSC, working as a medical office assistant, once again, with a bachelor's degree. Yeah, I walked right back into the same thing, because I never could get a response when I applied for, like, say, PCT or something like that, because all of my experience was in the office setting. So I worked at MUSC, and I decided then that, I was going to do nursing school. So I moved my family from downtown Charleston, and we moved to an area called Moncks Corner. And I thought in that moment that I was going to commute and go to Francis Marion and complete my bachelor's in nursing. I got accepted to the program pretty readily, very quickly. No problems there. And I got a call from financial aid, to say, yes, great, you're accepted. Our tuition cost is $7,500 a semester. And I was like, excuse me, where's my financial aid? So it was in that moment that I also learned that you cannot use financial aid if you already have a degree of that level. So I could only get financial aid for a master's degree and not a bachelor's degree. So therefore, now, because I listened to my advisor and I went ahead and finished instead of doing the nursing right off, I completed a degree in psychology knowing that I wanted to go to nursing school. I don't think I told you that, but I told her in that moment, like, we decided that nursing was going to be the thing. And she was like, well, you can finish out, with the psychology degree, and then you'll have 2 degrees. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. I'll have 2 degrees. So the lesson here is research. Don't just take people's word first. Do your own research. Like, make sure you do that. I was not able to go to Francis Marion because I didn't have $7,500 to complete a degree. Like a semester? Oh, I didn't have that. I was just working in medical billing. Time passed. And I really felt like, nursing school was not going to happen for a couple times there because of finances and because of this nuance that now I was going to have to pay my way through a program when trying to raise, children and trying to pay rent and trying to, make sure that there's food on the table and stuff like that. It was overwhelming. So those of you out there who are going through that, all I can say is look at me now. God makes a way. You plan it and you make life work for you. When you set your life up the way that you want it to be set up, then God will make a way for you to do the things that you want to do. You just have to get out your own way. Fast forward to now. Now I am at Trident Technical College in Charleston. I am completing an associate's degree in nursing program. This is my second semester. I'm coming into my second semester. I was successful in my first class that I had. We actually are doing clinicals. This class coming up, there will be clinical rotations in the community versus last semester we did clinical rotations in our mock hospital at the school. So, I'm working toward that. And I am pondering maybe starting a midwifery program, which is pretty exciting. Like, I will know more about the process today. I have a meeting with one of their advisors at 2. So I will know more about the process, but I just realized through research that I should have done a long time ago. See what happens when you sleep on stuff? That really, I honestly could have went to midwifery school right out of college at Charleston, but I didn't know. And guys, that is why you have to do your research. But I believe in everything happening for a reason, so it was a reason why it's been a break. Maybe, my mindset wasn't, set then, but now it is. So I have that meeting at 2. I'm working on an associate's degree. I already have a bachelor's degree. So what midwifery is a nurse or a master's degree level practitioner who is certified to deliver babies. And like I said, I'm a trained doula. I've always been, interested in the birthing process. I have a zillion kids, I feel like, and it's because that's my love. It's my love for, life and earth and birth and motherhood that, has created this being that I am. And, you have to hone in on who you are and what you're passionate about and go from there. So, I'll let you guys know what I find out. If you're interested, definitely comment below. Definitely keep in touch with me, because I'm more than happy to share anything that I've learned, any motivation that you need. I'm here for you guys. And I want to know that you hear me and that you see me. So definitely, like and subscribe if you want to go on a journey with me, or if you're on your own journey and you just want to say, hey girl, I got you. Thank you. Let me know that you're there. I'll talk to you guys a little later. I'm going to head in and get some breakfast. And actually, I need to go for a jog first. But don't tell nobody. I'm going to do it second. Yeah. I got to do better, but not today. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.